Picture this, a small boat out on open water, the Sea of Galilee at night. And Jesus is asleep, actually asleep, in the middle of a boat that's about to go under, because the storm comes out of nowhere, wind tearing across the water, waves climbing over the sides. And these aren't tourists in that boat. These are fishermen. Men who grew up on this lake, who know exactly what it looks like when a storm means you don't make it home. And they're panicking. They wake him up, and he stands, looks out at the chaos, and says two words, "Peace, be still." And it just stops. Instantly. Now, if you were writing this story, this is where the big moment happens, right? This is the miracle they'll never forget. Surely something enormous is waiting on the other side of that storm. They land the boat, and there's no crowd there. No city gates, no one waiting to be healed. Just a graveyard, and out from among the tombs comes a man. Except calling him a man barely covers it. He hasn't worn clothes in longer than anyone can remember. He lives out here, alone, among the dead. He cuts himself with stones. People used to try chaining him up, but he'd tear through iron like it was nothing. So eventually they stopped trying. They just let him be. Out here, away from everyone. This is who Jesus crossed a killer storm to reach, not a leader, not a crowd of thousands. One man that an entire town had already given up on. And here's what should stop you in your tracks. Jesus knew. Before that boat ever left the shore, he knew exactly where he was headed, and he knew what it would take to get there. He knew the storm was coming, and he got in the boat anyway. Think about the math of that for a second. Nobody risks their life, crosses a deadly sea for one broken man nobody else even wanted to look at. That's not how anyone else would spend that kind of power. But it's exactly how Jesus spent his. And there's something even bigger hiding in this moment. This land, this graveyard, it's Gentile territory, pig country, the kind of place a Jewish teacher just did not go. So without a single word of explanation, Jesus is already answering a question the church wouldn't fully wrestle with for years. Is this good news just for one people, or is it for everyone? He crossed the water to answer it with his feet, before anyone answered it with words. So he heals the man. Right there. And for the first time in years, this man is sitting down, clothed, in his right mind. And you'd expect the story to end with Jesus taking him along, making him a disciple, keeping him close after everything he'd survived. Instead, Jesus tells him to go home, go back to the very people who chained you, who gave up on you, who let you rot in a graveyard. Go back and tell them what happened to you, the man Jesus wanted no one to see face to face. Jesus turns him into the one person that entire town has to listen to, the one everybody wrote off, becomes the one who reaches everybody else. He knew what that storm would cost him, and he crossed it anyway. For one man. If he'd do that for one, imagine what he's willing to do for you.